Hi everyone. How are you guys doing? Um, so yesterday I was supposed to stream, but I got caught up with my master's degree assignment, so that did not happen. But here we are today. Let's do some streaming, shall we? All right. So last time we did our map saver where we saved some data, and it was temporary data. And when we started our game, we would just save it to a file, and it was all cool and dandy. But that data that we saved was temporary. One more thing, I forgot to push my code to GitHub, so I need to do that. But yeah, let's see. So what are we doing today? Today, today I would like to, what do I want to do today? I have no idea. I think today we'll have a save button. We'll make this button save the file rather than just having the file being saved like this or being just like this. So to do that, we have a button over here. And if I press the button, right, I would like to save something to it. So let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and take all this data. Let's go and call this map saver. I don't know if this is the best location for it. Probably not. Maybe in the map it's a better location for it. Maybe there. I don't know yet. I have no idea how I'm gonna architect this, so I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. Just for now, temporarily. Then I'll switch it up later. So, where's the thing? Here we go. So we do our data, we do all this. So now, if I go ahead and delete this file, if I go ahead and there's the file, if I delete this and press play, it is not going to save the file unless I tell it to. So here, if I press the button, it saves it, right? And I believe this registers once. I could be wrong. Let me make sure. So std cout pressed. I hope this only happens once. Yeah, it only happens once. Okay, that's cool. It's called saved map to file. Put this all the way to the bottom. All right. Cool. Now, this is working. What I want to do is be able to set the map size, right? Because right now the map is pre-static, is predefined. So on the grid, I would like to change that. Hey Kareem, how are you doing? Nice to see you again too. I saw your comment on my video yesterday, I believe you commented. I just haven't had the time to reply to it. I'm really sorry. You know what? I am going to start an advanced series. I'm just preparing for that. I'm going to start doing OpenGL, teaching OpenGL and like computer graphics and making a game engine. I will do both at the same time, since there's a bunch of people who ask for that. So, and I really miss engine development, so I'll do both. But I cannot stop this series. It's not fair because this is a game that I actually want to publish, right? It's a game that I want to put on Steam, and it's not just an RPG. I would like to be like a 2D small MMORPG, or even just an RPG with multiplayer. So we'll see. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll start an OpenGL series soon. So yeah. All right. Anyways, where was I? So I want to create a grid, right? So our grid is defined as here in the constructor, the cell size and all that. So we'd like to define that also in the map. So here's my grid. This is where I create my grid, right? And I specify that my grid will have a, let's see, where does it take? It takes a position. That's fine. This is my cell size, every cell, total amount of cells, and scale. So this is what I really want, the total cells. Right, total says 10 by 5. If I do 5 by 5, that should be smaller. Right, yeah, that's smaller. Okay. So we want to save this data. So right now it's kind of hard coded, right? Tile width, map width, and map height. So what I'm gonna do, can I access this data from the grid? Yeah, I can get to all cells. Okay, I can do that. So let's do that. So in here for the map width, we're gonna do grid dot get total cells dot x, and this would be dot y. And I also need the width of every cell. So let's see, is there a function for that? Get size, yeah. No x dot y. One thing that I like is here I'm calling this get total cells, and this would be like the total cells, and this says map width. Total. I guess map width is okay. I guess it's okay. I don't like it though. I like to be consistent, so this is get size. Nope, sorry, this is get. Wait, what is size? What is size? Let me go to the grid and figure out what size is. So get size returns the size, and the size is initialized as, this is the scale. What is size? Size is the total cells multiplied by cell size. No. What is cell size? Oh, cell size is just how big the cell is. So what is size then? It's the total cells. So this is like, this is the grid size. So this is the entire, why do I have a variable for that? Do I need it? Do I use it anywhere here? Yeah, I use it to create, okay. So why am I exposing this? Like get size, why is it being exposed? Don't think I need that. I don't think I'm using this anywhere. I'll keep it, I suppose, for now. So this is get size. What do I want? I want the scale. We don't have a variable for that. And the scale represents the total cell size, scale represents, what does scale represent? Scale, we're taking cell size multiplied by scale, by a certain scale. Okay, that's fine. So in here, we need not only, we don't just need the scale, I also need the cell size. So in the map data, where's the map data? Here we go. I don't like these names. I'm trying to keep it as consistent as possible. So cell size, map width. So let's do this. and cell size x equals 0. Cell size y. Okay. Total cells. Total cells on x and total cells on y. Just keep things as consistent as possible. And then we have, so total cells, whoops, we have scale also, we need scale. So scale x, scale y. This would be map scale on x and y. Total cells x, total cells y. And do I need position? Do I need position? I suppose, because I could start the map outside. Let's add it. Map position x, map position y. Okay, so we have all this data. I can move tile width and scale x and all that. Right, this is a little bit nicer now. Now I can increment this to version 1. Actually, we said we don't need this in here, so we're gonna remove that. So technically, if I go to my map saver, should become version 1. You know, keep it to version 1 because we never really published this. This only matters if we actually publish it. All right, let's grab these variables. It's a little bit nicer. Just to be consistent. Consistency is good. Because if you go and if you leave the code, like if you don't look at the code for a while and then come back to it, you're gonna forget what the hell things are. Which is not super great. So I want to be consistent as possible. Alright, total cells x, total cells y, and finally scale. Whoops. Scale x and scale y. Alright, cool. It's kind of the data that I need. What is name? Is this the map name? Called map name. So things like this, like what is name? Oh, this is a map, and it'll be a little bit more clear if it says map name. Sometimes I forget these things. All right, so this is how I want this to look like. We saved our data here, and so now we need to fix all the things here. It's no longer map width. It is now. I think I need to build it to. Yeah, I need to build it to copy the new data. Build this, or just rebuild it honestly. All right, it's rebuilt. So now there is. Nope, that did not rebuild. Why did that not rebuild? Map data. This should have been rebuilt. Excuse me, good sir. Oh yeah, okay, so this would be cell size Y. Size X, cell size Y. Alright, I think IntelliSense is just not happy. We'll fix IntelliSense later. Map X, do that. Alright, so this should all be fine. Position X, position Y. Okay, so rebuild this. Can you be happy, please? I really am not happy when you're not happy. Just comment this code out. Okay. Comment this out. Rebuild everything. All right, so now everything's happy, right? Just it's gonna complain like this because So what happens here is it's going to complain. The reason it's complaining is because we modified the header file, and the header file was copied, but Visual Studio is still on the old header file. It's thinking still, IntelliSense is thinking that the old header file still exists. And so it's complaining about this. So the only way to fix this is just relaunch Visual Studio, right? There's no compilation errors. There's no actual compiler errors, right? But Visual Studio is, well, Visual Studio. So I have an ultra wide monitor, and I have to only use a certain portion of the monitor so you guys can see, since this is like 4K. Okay, this is done. This is solved. So now if I control Z here, this is also solved. So now this would be total cell X, total cell Y. Okay, and then we have size X, size Y. You guys can, if you're making this game, right, on your own, you can name these, not on your own. Like if you're making this, you don't have to follow exactly my naming schema. Whatever you feel comfortable with, go for that. At the end of the day, this is your code. Okay, so I need to expose scale, right? So in the grid, I need to make one more. And I believe I have a variable for it, which is scale. Yeah, scale. Get scale. This returns m scale. It's a vector to I, so it's a vector to I, not vector to f. And there you go. So now I have m scale. I can go. Where can I go? Where can I go? Scale x and scale y. This is, I believe, map scale. Yeah, map scale x, map scale y. You know, I have an idea. I have an idea that will make this code a little bit better. So do you see that? Notice something. So right now, I've set all these variables, right? I've set the total cells, the total, the cell size, and the map scale. But I forgot one thing. The thing that I forgot was map position x, right? Because this can happen sometimes, and I could have just saved this and applied it and everything. But when I like, I could have forgotten, and this would have saved. And if it's saved, it's gonna crash. So if I go ahead and run this, because it's either gonna crash or it's gonna tell you that's it has a value of 0. So we're gonna forget. So you can see here, right? So map position are both 0 because I never actually filled that, right? And because I forgot, right? And so this is a problem that could happen. The way you can solve this problem is, rather than you're giving the programmer a choice, and the choice is he can fill this data in or not. But you can force him to fill this data, and the way you can force him is by making a constructor. So I can make a constructor here that forces you to fill this data in. Right? So let's do that, because this is much better. So I'm going to make this is by default, it's public. We're in a struct is by default public. So we're going to make a constructor. Now this constructor, and I said I want to stick to this convention. I keep forgetting the whole m underscore. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep these variables as private, because okay, I have something. Just give me a second. Let me do this, and I'll explain what I have in mind. What's my thought process? Actually, I can explain it while doing this. So my thought process is, I don't want anyone to be able to modify these variables directly. So when I go ahead and create this, where is it? Let's put it here side by side. When I go ahead and create the data structure, map data, I want you, as a programmer, whoever's going to use this class, I want you to fill this data in, right, at the start of creation of this object. So at creation of this game, this object, you're going to fill this data in using the constructor, and you're never going to have to be able, I don't want you to be able to modify this data again, right? The only way you can modify this data is to recreate the game object, not the game object, I mean the object. I'm thinking of Unity, so sorry about that. But I don't want you to be able to change these variables unless you create the object again. The benefits of that is I know for sure that these objects will not be, or these variables and this data will not be changed later on. So I make them private, and I make a constructor so you can set them in. That's the idea. So let's make this as const. This will be tile data, not m underscore. This will be tile data. Are there any benefits of doing this? Just the benefits of knowing that these are not going to change, really, right? That's really it. These variables will not, I know that these variables will not change later on in the program unless someone goes ahead and recreates the entire object. I guess that would be the only benefit that I can think of. I just like to have it this way. It's, I suppose it would produce less bugs, because one of the bugs that happens is someone might change this program, change one of these variables, and I wouldn't know where they changed them. But with a constructor, I can find the constructor. I know that they changed it, and they can't change a single variable. They have to change all the variables, right? I mean, I suppose they can keep all the variable values the same, but change one thing. I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit nicer, a little bit neater. So I don't have any other really justification here. This is going to be an int pointer const int pointer of data or data. Okay. Yeah. So I could make these public, but I'm just gonna keep them private, honestly. All right. So I'm gonna do. Let's copy all these variables. Copy all this. Paste them here. I wanna just do this, that, and do. Oops. Just wanna do this over here. Do this and this, and remove these. Remove all this. Oh, this is correct. I would like to keep this. Okay. This would be data. This would be data. This would be this. This would be that, this would be this would be that, and so on and so forth. Cool. Right, so essentially what I'm saying here, I'm saying, hey, the tile sheet is equal to m underscore tile sheet. That's it. So I'm just filling these variables with whatever I pass in the constructor. That's all I'm doing. Simple as that. And notice I'm making this as a reference const, because strings, strings can be really a lot of a lot of bytes. So this can be like 1 byte, it could be 8 bytes, it could be 16 bytes. So I'm making them as a reference. So I prevent a copy here, but I'm doing a copy here. So when I pass my string, I don't copy it while passing it, but I do the copy over here. So I'm copying whatever tile sheet in here. If I remove this, then I'm doing 2 copies. I'm copying it over here, and then I'm copying again over here. Unnecessary, a single copy is fine. You might wonder and ask, well, why not eliminate all copies? Well, because if I pass in something over here and it gets deleted, like from over there, then it's deleted also here. And what I mean by that, here, when I make the constructor, here's a constructor. If I pass in xd, this is temporary string, right? It's gonna be destroyed at the end of the scope. So if I pass it like this, and I don't, and it's not copied, like I pass it over here, and then this is also, for example, a reference, a const reference. Right? So now I'm not doing a copy at all, but when this gets destroyed, the data will be destroyed in here, which is not good, right? We don't want to do that. We want to at least copy it in here. So we'll just keep it this way. If that doesn't make sense, do let me know and I will explain it again. All right, the only problem we have is this over here. So it's complaining this is a const int pointer. It cannot be assigned to an int pointer. So because this is a constant pointer, I believe I have to make this a constant pointer, and this should be fine. Yep, there we go. And this is happy. If I go ahead and build this, rebuild this, it rebuilds it. All the data is copied, but Visual Studio still doesn't know this. Oh, does it know? Let's see. Does it? Did it catch that up? Nope, it still doesn't know. It's still stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and close Visual Studio and reopen it again. I just like IntelliSense. You don't have to do this. You can work without IntelliSense, but I need IntelliSense in my life. I cannot not have IntelliSense in my life. I'm not a hardcore programmer. You know, one of those programmers who program on a Google document. Yeah, I'm not one of those. All right, so we need to pass in the tile sheet. So this is the first string we pass in. And then the second string would be the name. This is the name over here. All right, let's put this on multiple lines. What do I need next? I need, oh, Jesus. I need position X. So remove this. So this is the thing that I forgot, right? So I need to pass in grid dot get position X, and then I want to do get position Y. What else do I need? I need the cell size. So cell size X, I need this. I need cell size Y. What else do I need? Wait, this is cell size. Yeah, cell size. I need the total cells, which would be this one. All right. What do I need next? Next, I need map scale X and map scale Y. So see, now I'm being forced to add these variables. I will not forget, because if I forget, the compiler is gonna be like, hey, yo, you forgot, you idiot. What you doing, buddy? I need the data, finally, the data length and the data. So that would be, it's a hard-coded value of 6, for example, for now, just for now. And then this would be null, a null pointer, for now. Again, this is just for now. And I can remove all this. Cool. Why are you complaining, my friend? Blah, 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 blah. Is inaccessible. Oh, I believe so. Okay, so just so you can read the warning or the error, right? So you can see what's going on. It says map data, which is the constructor, blah, 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 blah. And then it says is inaccessible. And so inaccessible means it's private. You cannot access a function that's private. So if I go back to here and I look at it, I put a private over here. So all of this is private, right? But this constructor needs to be public. So in here, I'm just going to mark this as public. Now it should be okay. Email, can you like not show the entire world my emails? Thank you very much. I would really appreciate that. Like I would really genuinely appreciate that. Okay, a bunch of errors here. Oh, these are private. See, this is why you write code. So that was a stupid statement, by the way. So these, I need to access these variable and I mark them as private. And because I mark them as private, I can access them individually. So what I could do, I could mark them as, I could create getter functions. So get map position Y, X, get all these. The question is, should I just make this public and be done with this? Or should I create getters? Because here's the advantage. If I make these public, I don't have to spend the time to make getter functions. So it's laziness, really. This whole discussion or decision is fueled whether on the basis of laziness, whether I should be lazy or not. So, however, if I don't do getters and I keep them like this, there's a chance that someone can go and write something to variable and like can do this, right? And the whole point is I don't want someone to do this by mistake, right? That's the whole idea. So I'm gonna not take the lazy way out and make getters. That's gonna be so many functions, Jesus. Okay. I mean, again, you don't have to do any of this, but I am doing it, so get tile sheets const and this returns a m_tile sheets, right? And I need a bunch of these. Okay, I think this is too much. All right, get name, go away. Get map size y, go away. Get cell x, get cell y, go away. Get cell that, get that, and go away. Get this, get, right. Oh, yeah, oops. Get this, get that, and get that. This be const int. This is, oopsie daisy. Excuse me, good sir. You are not happy. I'll fix you later. I'll see what your problem later is. Oh, return. I'm not returning any of these. Return. If I can spell return correctly. That would be fantastic. Oh, I didn't put space. There we go. Right there, return over here. Okay. I realize you're not strings. I just need you to calm down, my friend. I would really appreciate it if you could calm down. Actually, why don't I just do this? Do that and do this. All right, this would be get map position x, get map. Whoa, calm down. This would be get cell x. This would be get cell y. This would be get cell y, and this would be map x and y, and this would be that data length and temp data. Cool. Look at me, so proud of myself. I didn't take the lazy way out, but those are a lot of getters. Those are lots of getters. All right, so you guys are complaining, so this would be get. Visual Studio, please work with me here. We need music on the stream. Problem is, some people might not like my music. Uchino, can you work, please? I'm begging you. Why are you not working? Private, public, and these are all public. Rebuild everything. Dot. I hate you in ways you can't even imagine. You try to imagine them, but you cannot. It is impossible to imagine. Oh, why is this called get tile sheet? Get tile sheets. No one warned me about this, guys. What the fuck? Damn it! I'm not supposed to swear. I'm trying not to swear as much. Because swearing is, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you do. We all know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, then you don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I tend to ramble on when I'm busy. When I'm doing bullshit. When I'm doing stuff. Stop it! No swearing. And finally, see, this is nice organized code, I think. No idea. Yeah, I'll keep it the way it is. All right, rebuild this. We should not complain. You're just complaining. You're complaining about map data.h. In map loader. What the heck is map loader? Why? Well, obviously this doesn't exist. Okay, this is in core. No, core. I said. Build. Mari, is bad practice having a lot of getters functions? No, I don't think so. I mean, I explained my reasoning of, oh Jesus, I explained my reasoning why I made a lot of getter functions, right? First of all of these are inlined, so they're not gonna have any. Where the heck is it? So they're all inlined. Okay, we're not inlined, so thank you for reminding me. So these are all should be inlined. Whoop, inline. Right, so they're all inline, so there's no performance penalty on this at all, like 0 performance penalty. And these allow me to make sure that no one is ever writing to any of these variables. The only way you could write to a variable, as in change this, for example, here, m_map position x. The only way you can change this variable value is to create the entire object, which means you have to call the constructor, which means you have to change every other variables. This might be short-sighted. This might not be great right now. Like I'm thinking about it and it's fine. It seems fine, but maybe later down the road I would be like, okay, we'll just make all these public and I have to go ahead and delete all this. That happened, you know, it happens multiple times. But I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of getter functions. It's fine. Like it's okay. I don't I need them, and because I need them because I don't want them to. I don't want anyone to write to any of these variables. So I think it's fine. It's not bad practice. Maybe someone else would consider bad practice, but it's fine. It's my code. So I suppose it's fine. Not many of them is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there's a bunch, but you know, it's fine. Cannot include map edge header. You know what? Core. Can we like? Thank you. All right, fix all the errors. Map loader. I specifically don't care about the game. Can we just focus on this? What is your issue? Why is this not working? What's there? It's not a member. How is it not a member? I specifically told you to be a member. Excuse me. Oh, well, now it's a member. I have to rebuild. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So this is all works. All works. I just need to reset Visual Studio so IntelliSense can be like, hey, yo, you know. Actually, there might be a way where I don't have to reset Visual Studio. I'll try it next. I'm gonna try it next. Okay, so IntelliSense, can you like stop? No. IntelliSense. I mean, I'm gonna build the map editor. I'm gonna rebuild the map editor. That's fine. Everything built correctly. I'm just complaining about this. Can I refresh the project? Can I just like whatever? It's complaining. I don't have compilation errors, so this is all valid code, but it's complaining. So who cares? All right. So just make sure everything's correct. Yeah. Okay. So everything works. So now if I press play. And I click on this button, it's saved to the file. And if I check my file, I should have all my data. So cell size is 0, 0. And cell size X is 0. So these are 0. Why are these 0? It should not be 0. They should not be 0. I have way too many tabs open. Just close everything, please. I need the main function. Thank you very much. What am I doing here? Cell size X. Why is this empty? Am I not filling it up with data? All right, so I'm putting a breakpoint here just to see what's going on. So those are 0. So on the grid, if you look here, the M cell size is 1616, but in here it's stored as 00. And so that leaves me that leads me to believe that I've done something stupid over here, which I have, as always. I have made a stupid mistake over here. There you go. Cool. Rebuild this. Press play. Click on the button. Ignore the breakpoint. It should say that it's saved. Go here, refresh. What? Why is this 1600? What? Cell size X. Cell size Y. Total size. Why is this 1600? It should not be 1600, it should be 16. Did I mess up something? X, Y. No. Okay, we're gonna have to put a breakpoint again. Click here to save. Check these values. So cell size X 1600 and cell size Y is 800. And if I check this, if I check the grid and M underscore cell size, it's 16 by 16. So am I doing something stupid in the grid? Where's the size? Size, M underscore size. What am I missing? Okay, I'm just gonna log this. So console, not console, but the cout std, and you forgot to remove some of the M in the. Yeah, I did that though. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So there's a delay in the recording. So yeah, you mentioned that. Probably didn't see that until now. But yeah, I did those. Cell X X Y Y X X Y Y. And let's press play and see what it prints. std. So we're gonna print X. Press the button. What did it print? Why is it printing 1600? This should not be. I'm so stupid. God damn it. I'm stupid. I keep forgetting that I'm stupid. Okay, so here's the thing. Cell size is not the same thing as M size. Ugh. And this is, what does this want? This wants cell size. So I need to do cell size. So get to all cells. I'm going to put total cells here. I'm going to get cell size. And this would be M underscore cell size. See, stupid mistakes. Stupid. This is a vector to I. Vector to I. Okay. Stupid, silly mistakes. And I didn't fix it over here. More stupid, silly mistakes. So it'd be get cell size. Alright, this should all be fixed now. Save it. Go ahead and refresh this. Yep, 1616, 200, 200, 10, 5, 5, and 5. Scale is 5 and 5. I have total cells of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. 10 and 5 is correct. 16 by 16 is correct. My scale is 10 by 10. That's correct. Data length is wrong, and these were wrong because I hard coded them. But everything is fine. I'm saving my data now. And yep, this looks good. You know what I'm thinking now? Rather than passing this data like this, I can just pass the grid object, no? So I could pass the grid object here and then the map here, rather than just passing this data like this. I think that would be nicer. That would be much cleaner. That would be much cleaner. All right, so we're gonna have to do some refactoring, but I'll do it in a second. I would like to solve this data issue. So let's solve that data issue. So right now, I don't know how big my data is. And I believe I save all this in the map, right? Here I have map sprites. Do I not save it? Do I not? So what happens when I click on the grid? I have cell size, total. Nope. I don't think this only deals with the grid itself. So I want to see what happens when I click on, where's the code that manages here? So if I click on it, I set the sprite. Okay. So we need to do some more work here. If you remember in the map class in the game, we had an array. So I have M sprites, but I also have something else. M tiles, right? I had also M tiles, and every tile had an ID. And so whenever I click or whenever I load something, I fill in. Okay, so you're complaining. I need to fix the game because the game is kind of broken right now. All these errors. Oh, 36 errors. God damn. Okay, I'll fix them later. I don't care right now. The game doesn't matter right now. The game is broken. I broke the game. But it's fine. So in here, where this is in the load function. Yeah. So here I set the tile ID. Okay. And I set the tile position. And according to the ID, where's the ID? Set texture. Tile at I position. Yeah, so I'm setting the IDs. I need a way to do that in here. I need a way to set the ID in here. Okay. So we need to do that. So the idea here, this is what I want to do. Essentially, when I click over here, right, in the grid, I want to set this cell to an ID of this tile. Because our entire system works, I need my drawing tablet. All right, here we go. Drawing tablets, can you turn on, please? Do I have to fight with Bluetooth, or you're just gonna connect? You're not gonna connect, are you? It's all the Bluetooth devices are, isn't it? Oh, in Dios here. Go away. Are you gonna connect? It says it's connected to remove device. I hate Bluetooth. Bluetooth is such a stupid technology. I cannot believe that we don't have a better technology than Bluetooth right now in 2020. Like, we have Wi-Fi, but like most devices use Bluetooth. And if I say like one more time, I'm gonna kill myself. Okay, I'm not gonna kill myself. Let's stop. Can you make this stream PG-13, please? God, you're so annoying. Talking to myself. Okay. The idea here. Here's the idea, guys. The idea here is that I have a grid, right? This is my lovely grid. Okay. When I take my mouse and I place a tile over here, I would like the tile ID to be saved for this tile. So it'll be like for this cell. So it'll be like this cell. Now I pressed a tile 5. So I have my tile sheet over here. My tile sheet. Okay, and we know our tile sheets, right? You guys all know the tile sheet, but just as a quick reminder for everyone. This is my tile sheet. Now, what I did in the game in the previous episodes is every tile has an ID. So I said essentially that, can you can you just come here? Thank you. Oh, can you? Oh, thank you. I said that this has an ID of 0. Jesus, this is big. I said that this has the tile ID of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, right? So every tile has an ID. So if I selected this tile, let's say this is the tile that I've currently selected, and let's assume some arbitrary ID. Let's assume this ID is 55, right? It's not 55 because you have to count 0, 1, 2, 3. You have to count all these until you reach here. So I don't know, let's assume it's 55 for argument's sake, right? So when I go on my grid, when I go on this grid and I click and I have the 55 tile selected, right? This is the 55 tile selected, like here, right? Jesus, this is my tile. This is the tile that I've selected, right? And it's the ID of 55. When I click on the grid, right? Let's reset this program. When I click on the grid, like this, I want to say this cell now has the tile ID of 55, right? So can you just, thank you. So this cell will have an ID of 55. And if I select another cell, if I select another tile from this tile sheet, let's say the tile 100, and I click in here, this will be 100. So this is just literally, this is just an array of numbers, right? That contains IDs. And the reason we need this is because we cannot, like, when I'm saving this data, this is text. I'm saving this as text. I cannot, like, I can't save texture over here. Like, I cannot put the binary. It would be very, very stupid to save the texture in a text file format, right? It's not efficient, it's not great, it's not how you do things. So rather than saving the texture, the actual texture in this data over here, all I save is the IDs. So I'm saying this is 55, this is 44, this is 32, and so on and so forth. And so I'm saving this data, 55, 32, 11, for example, or 54, 44, 32, right? I'm saving this data. So when the game goes and load, so this is the map editor. The map editor did this. So when the game goes and loads this map, it will check this tile sheet and it will look up for the ID 55. Once it sees the ID 55, which is, for argument's sake, this is tile 55. When it sees this, it will literally go in here and render it. It will render this on the screen. And then it will check the next tile ID. What's the next tile ID? It's 44, I believe. The next one is 44. It will look at 44. Where's 44? Let's say, for argument's sake, 44 is over here. So it's going to go ahead and render this over here on the screen, right? So we know the ID tile. We know the ID. We'll just go here and look up the ID, find the ID in here. And the way we find it is simple, right? This is 0, 1, 2. It's sequential. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, right? So if I go to index 44 in this list is this, right? So that's kind of the idea. We want to save IDs in this map file, in this text file, right? We want to save IDs. And I just realized that this is cropped for you. Well, this not that much, right? I will want to save the IDs, and then the game will load those IDs and render the appropriate tile accordingly. That's kind of the idea. If that doesn't make sense for whatever reason, please do let me know. Put in the comment section. There's also a Discord. We have a Discord. Well, my Discord is closed, but we have a Discord where people can ask questions. So you can ask comment section or on Discord, and I can explain it again next episode. It's not a big deal. All right, but that's the idea, right? So I want to have an array of integers. So in here, in the map for the game, you see we already have this is a pointer of tiles, right? And a single tile has an ID and a position. I wouldn't need this array of tiles. I just need an array of integers. That's really all I need, right? Yeah, that's really all I need. So in here, I'm gonna make an array of integers. the size of this array is however big my grid is. So I have a 10 by 5 grid, so I'll make a 10 by 5 array, which is 50 elements, and I'll start filling data in these elements. Right? That's kind of the idea. All right, let's do this. So this is my map sprites. This is the thing that holds the actual sprite that we want to render on the screen, right? Alongside it, we want to put the ID, and the ID is I, right? We want to save the ID, so let's do that. So I'm going to make an int pointer called map IDs. Oh, tile IDs. Tile IDs. I always have this discussion with myself. Should I have the D as small d or big D? I think big D is fine. Okay, so the question is, why am I making this a pointer? Why am I not making this 50? Right? Why am I not making simple an array of 50 elements? Well, because I don't know those are 50 elements yet. Later on in the program, I would like the user to select how big the grid is at runtime. So it'll be a drop-down menu, and he can select the width and height, and we'll draw the width and height. If I make this an array, I have to hard-code the value of the map in here, right, which is 50. But I don't want to hard-code it. I want the user to be able to select it. The problem is, with an array, you have to set the array size before you compile your application. And since I don't know what my array size is, I have to make this a pointer. And so now this is a pointer that points to an array, and that array size will be decided later on in the program. That's kind of the idea. So this is my tile IDs, right? And if I go here, I can set the size of my tile IDs, which is, right now it's max sprites, but it's gonna change later on. So let's do tile ID is equal to new int max size, right? It's again, or map size. This will change. I'm still hard coding it, but like, you know, it'll change, don't worry. This is a pointer which needs to be null ptr over here. I sell null ptr, it's null ptr, which is pointer. Null pointer called null ptr, whatever. Right, and in here now all I have to do is do I equal to I. No, this is not I. This is equal to some little value. This value here is different. It's not I. What's the value here? Mouse tile gets sprite. Mouse tile gets sprite. Okay. So mouse tile gets sprite. This will have the current sprite that's selected. And we have, so this is the ID of it, or sequential number, the index of it. So I want this class to, did I ever create a variable that tells me the ID that's currently selected of the tile? Just m_tile. So m_tile, how am I doing this? Again, I'm looking at code that I've written a while back, guys, so bear with me here. So if I press A, it's 12, but initially it's 11, right? So it's 11, it's a hard-coded value. Okay, so I'm gonna make a private variable, and this is going to be an int current tile ID, and the current tile ID is, don't do that please, it's 11. It should be current tile ID. And I'm going to go ahead and change that over. If I press A, it's going to be changed to 12. And I'm just redoing this again. So this is my current tile ID, right? So this is just some hard-coded value that I have right now. It's going to change in the future. So I need a way to grab this variable. So I'm going to make a getter for it. Again, and this is really important, I never want the player or I never want anyone, the programmer, whoever gonna program the map editor, I never want them to change this variable ever, because if they do, it's really bad. So that's why I need a setter. Not a setter, a getter. So this should be only read from, not written to. It should only be written in the class, right? Because it'd be very, very bad. So let's just copy this. I just want to make this as an int. Get, what's the variable name? Let's do this. I need to get used to the m underscore, man. Swear to God. Get current tile ID. So return it's an int. This doesn't need to be const. Int. Why are you mad? Oh, because it doesn't exist. Because it's over here. So I have to change over here, and over here. Okay. So now in my map saver, in my map, yeah, over here, the tile ID will be mouse tile ID dot get current tile ID. Okay. So here, this line of code, just to remind you if you don't remember, this line of code gets the integer I. I is where the mouse clicked on the grid. So to give you an example, if I click over here, this is 0. This is where I clicked. This is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So I will hold the value of where I clicked on the grid. So if I click on the first cell, I is 0. So I'm saying tile ID 0, right? Because this array over here, this is the array that is representative of the entire grid, right? So this is tile IDs. This over here, what I'm highlighting is tile ID, right? And so if I'm saying tile ID at I is wherever I clicked on the grid, will be equal to the current tile ID that I selected previously. And this just returns a hard-coded value of 11, right? So basically I'm saying, let me restart this program because I clicked a lot. Basically I'm saying tile ID at I, which is where I clicked here, will be equal to 12. So now I saved the value 12 over here. Right, I saved the value, actually it's 11, so this is 11, right? It's hard to see. This is 11. Okay, and I clicked here, this is also 11. I didn't click here, so this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Now if I press A, I change the tile. And remember, this is tile 12. So I clicked here, 12, 12. This is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. This is 11. Now I changed it to 12, right? So there you go. That's what the code does. I check when I click on the grid, you'll have I, and I'm accessing tile IDs at I, which is the map. It's literally the entire. This is an array of the grid itself. Like this is the array. Think of like tile IDs is this grid in form of numbers, right? In memory, right? So I'm saying wherever I clicked, wherever cell I click on, will be equal to that current tile ID, which is 12 or 11, right? I hope that made sense. Okay, and then in here, I actually set the sprite so you can see it visually, right? So this is the thing that sets it visually so you can see it, and this is the idea of it. All right, so now I can save my data, or I can go here. I know what my data is, how big my data is. I know it's a hard-coded value of 50. So in here, map saver, right? This will be map data.getData length, and this is a hard-coded value of map size. Yeah, map size. It's hard-coded value. We'll change it later. And the data that I want to return is the map. So map dot, we need a variable for that. I need to get this, right? So I need an inline const int pointer should call get tile IDs const return m underscore this. I keep forgetting to do this. Okay, do that here. I'm just changing this to an m underscore, that's all. Now I have get tile IDs. Okay. This is not the greatest name. It should be like tile ID array or something. Because map sprites get map IDs, because this is map sprite. So get map IDs. I think this would be a better name, because tile represents like a single tile. I don't know, I feel like this is a better name. We could change it later. We'll see. Okay. So now I can do dot get map IDs, and this is my data. I'm passing in my data. All right, and this is the moment of truth. So if I write over here, right, it should be all 0. The data should all be 0. Actually, this data says level 1. Why in the flying frick does it say? Oh, I never actually changed it over here. So okay. So now we need to actually write the data to a file. To do that, we need the for loop. Okay, and the size of the loop is the data length, however long the length is. So what I want to do is file data. This will only happen at the very beginning. All right, so I'm just gonna write data like this. Okay, and in here I'm gonna start writing map data.get. Oh Jesus, IntelliSense, please, I beg of you, work with me here. This is get map m data. It's called get data. So get data at I, right, and then this, and then a comma. So I'm writing it all in one line. Right now I'm just writing this all in one line. All right, and then a space to make this a little bit nicer. That's it. This is not great, because I'll show you why it's not great, but we'll make it pretty, but I just want to test it. Press here. So now it should just do 50 zeros. Whoa. See, this is why, okay, this is why, and I'll show you now why this is happening. If I now click here, it's gonna, some of them will not be this value. So some of them is 11. So this value over here, it's what, because, okay, you expect this to be 0. I expect this to be 0, right? Because we never put any data in here, right? It should be 0, but it's not 0. Why is it not 0? Because in C++, if you don't assign a value to a variable, the value will be whatever garbage value in memory at the time. So in memory, at this moment in time, this value is this, because we never said it's equal to 0. And so that's why I always say, hey, you should always assign your variables to here, make them 0, 0, or null perturb. That's why we do this. Because if you don't, you get garbage values. Now, this garbage value, it's not actually garbage, because we're in debug mode. This is by default what the Microsoft C++ compiler does in the background. So it sets all the memory to this value. If we switch to release mode, it will be actual garbage value in memory. But in debug mode, it will not be. So if I go here and I click on save, you will see now. So now see, sometimes it's 0, so now it's 0, but sometimes it will not be 0. So if I write it again, I have to relaunch my application. Sometimes it's not 0. Sometimes it's whatever garbage value in memory at the time. And in this instance, it is 0, but sometimes it's not 0, right? So that's why we have to 0 out all of our values. We're not doing that, so we need to do that. So if I load it, it's gonna be, this is the debugger. The debugger will fill the memory with this value. So to fix this, I believe it was in map, right? So I need to loop through this array and set their values to 0. right? So I need to make a, so I can do that. I can make a, so there's two ways I can do this. I can have a for loop. I know the size of my for loop, it's this size. I can say, hey, at I equal to 0. I could do this, right? This works. Okay, it's not super fast, but it works. So now if I go here, refresh, they're all 0 by default, right? Because I looped through my array and I set them all to 0. If I want, I could all set them to -1. If I wanted to, right? I could do that. That's fine. And you can see here now it'll be all -1, right? But this is not the fastest way. And I could be wrong. On older compilers, this is not the fastest way. On newer compilers, this will be the same speed as the function that I'm about to use. So the function called Memset. Memset, what it does is that it takes the destination, which is, this is the destination. It takes the value that I want to set to, which is 0, and the size of it. And what Memset is, it will use an instruction on the CPU, on the little CPU. It's the hardware by default. It will just go through this array and set everything to 0. And this will only work with zeros. It will not work with any other value. So if I, for example, can we not do this, please? Right? It'll only work with 0. So let's just test this first. Oh, I cannot believe I did that again. Stop doing that. Okay, press play. Thank you. So now, if I go here. Oh, okay, I forgot, right? So you can see some of them are 0, others are not. Because the size here, so this is the size is in bytes. So how big is this array in bytes? But here I just specified 50. So this value is 50. Where is it? Where's map size? Right, map size is 50, right? So I'm saying the first 50 bytes in this array, please make them equal to 0, right? But the array is bigger than 50. The array size is actually 50. We have 50 elements multiplied by 4. Why 4? Because it's an array of integers, and an integer is 4 bytes. So the size is 200. Right? So we do size of int multiplied by 4, multiplied by 50. So now it will set the entire array to 0. Right? Again, this is the size in bytes. Okay, if I go here, it works beautifully. And Memset is much faster than looping through the array and just setting everything to 0, as far as I know. Now, this will not work for a different value. Like if you set for 1, if you set this to 1, it will not set them all to 1. Right? It's not going to do that. Right? That's not how this function works. Right? It's going to be this number. Right? Because how this function works, you can do some research. Right? Because I researched this back in the day and they had an explanation and I completely forgot the explanation. So I'll leave this as a research topic for you. Go ahead and research why Memset will only work on 0. I think it will only work on 0 and another value. I don't remember what the other value is, or I could be wrong. Maybe it's only 0. But yeah, go ahead and research why that happens. But anyways. So I'm gonna go here. So now it's all set to 0, right? Which is good. So now if I click here, click here, click here, and click here, and click here, and I save, it is now 11 over here, 11 and 11 over here, right? Those two 11s, and those, for fuck's sake, I need to fix this problem. So those two 11s and two 11s in here and two 11s here, right? So we're saving data. So now if I go ahead and I'll just make them all 11s. Okay, and if I make this, I pressed A on my keyboard to change it to 12. Right, then I save this. So now they'll all be 11 except this is 12. This is 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, right? Now you see the problem here is that this is all happening in one line, and because I have text wrap, so if I go here and edit, oops, in view, word wrap, because I have word wrap, this is all in one line, right? It's a little bit harder to debug if everything is one line. I mean, it doesn't matter for the computer, but looking at it, I would like to look at it visually and be able to see when something is correct or not. So what I want to do, rather than saving everything in one line, I want to save it on multiple lines. So I want to save 9 elements, then enter 9 elements, and then new line, 9 elements, new line, 9 elements, and so on and so forth. So I'd like to do that. The way I could do that is by going into the map saver. Okay, rather than a single loop, I need 2 loops. So we're gonna have the X inside, the Y on top. Okay, this is no longer called get data length. This should be 9. I'm just hard coding these values for now. Sorry, this is 9 and this is 5. Sorry, this is 10. It's 10 and 5. And I'm going to do int I equal to X plus Y multiplied by 9. Sorry. And this would be at I, and this should work. And I'm going to do file. I'll explain this in a second. File, std, and go. Okay, let's look at this. Do that. Save it. Look at that. Beautiful, right? This is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and fifth row. You can see the corners, all the corners are, you know, what we set. I mean, obviously it's messed up. Let's fight over it again. Right? Corner, 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 corner. And I'm going to put 2 12s in here. I'm going to save this. Go here. Click on OK. You can see here, right? See, I can't see. You can see here the, yeah, you can see the 11, 11, 11, 11, right? In the corners, 11, 11 in the corners, and 12, 12 in the middle, right? So this is a little bit better to see visually. It's a little bit nicer. Now, how does this work? Well, essentially, you can see we put the X loop inside. So essentially, first, I say Y equal to 0, right? I set the Y equal to 5. So the size of Y is 5. The reason it's 5 is because I have 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And every row has 10 elements. So 0, so this is 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So I have 10 in a row, and I have 5 rows. So I'm saying I would like to first do the rows. So I say Y is equal to 0. Right, when we enter the loop, Y is 0. And then I go with X, X is 0. And this is I. We've done this like a million times, so I'm not going to explain it again. You can watch the recordings if you forgot. Real quick, X plus Y multiplied by 10. If I have a 2D number like X and Y, and I'll convert it to a one-dimensional number to access my array, I do this formula. It's X plus Y multiplied by the width, how many cells I have in the width. So this is I. So essentially I go in the file, I write my numbers. I write number 11 or 0 and then comma, and then the next loop iteration. So the first loop iteration will be, you will write 0, right? And then it's going to do a comma, and then X will become 1. When X is 1, I'm going to get the next element, right? And this would be 0, and then 0, and 0, 0, and 0, and 0, 0. It's going to do that 10 times. This loop does that 10 times. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I did it 10 times, right? When it's done, and then it's gonna put what right here. When we're done with this loop, we're gonna exit it and do this line. What this line does is simply say, hey, just put a new line. So it's gonna press enter, right? And then Y will become 1, and then we're gonna reset again. So we're gonna start writing 0, 0, 0, 10 times. When we're done with our loop, we're going to press enter. And Y will become 3, and so on and so forth until we've done all 5 rows. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, till we've done 5 rows. That's how this works. Okay. I represents the index in the array, right? And so we're saying, just give me index 0, give me index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the 0, index, this is index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, index 6, index 7, index 8, index 9, index 10, right? And so on and so forth. And at index 10, there's a value like 12. At index, 1 will be 12. These are just examples of if I actually put a tile in here. So if I put tiles in here, if I leave this 0 and put 2 tiles here and a tile here, so this index 1 will have the value 12. This has the value 12. This has the value 12. Right? That's essentially what I'm doing, which looks nice. Now, one thing that I also don't like very much is the fact that if I go here, I just want to show you something. If I go here and I do this and I save this, you will see that this is like not very nice. And the reason it's not nice is because we have data over here. It's not aligned. I'd like it to be like this. So it'd be a little bit nicer to see, I feel like, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do std and l to create a new line. I think that'll be a little bit nicer. How long have I been streaming? An hour and 20 minutes. I need to wrap up soon. Okay, so now, yeah, see, now it works. First put a. Okay. Save that. Load the file. 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. It still doesn't look fantastic because it will look much better if it's like this, right? It will be much nicer if it's online like this. Whoops. Right. It will be much nicer if it's like this. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put 2 spaces. So when I write my thing, I'm gonna put a comma and 2 spaces instead of 1 space, 2 spaces to account for 2 numbers. You know what? I'll put 3 spaces to account 3 numbers. If we ever have a tile that has like 999 numbers or 999 tiles, we can accommodate for 3 numbers. So this will be much nicer. It'll be aligned much better. And I'll put these 2 here. So now, wait, let's save. Yeah, now. Ooh, so it's not aligned here. No, that's not gonna work because if I put 3 here, this has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. If I put 1, 2, 3, I need to put 4 for single digits. Whatever, just keep it the way it is, I suppose. I could make it work, but I'll have put a bunch of if statements and just, I'm thinking whether I should do it or not. It'll be nicer to debug. It'll be much nicer to debug. Fuck it, let's do it. Damn it, don't swear on stream. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say, and this is my solution to this. I'm sure there's a better solution than this, but this is my solution for it. If at I is less than 10, then I want to put 1 space. File, just 1 space. Else if it's less than 100, then put 2 spaces. Else if it's less than 1,000, less than 100. Wait, no, hold on. If it is, hold on. If it's a single digit, I want to put 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces. So if 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's 2 digits, then I want to put 3 spaces. If it's 3 digits, then I put 1 space. I think this will work. Let's see. Save that. Reload this. I messed up somewhere. 1, 2. It's only 2 digits. 1, 2. Then 1, 2, 3. How many spaces it should have? It should be like this. So 2 digits, 1 space, 2 digits, 2 spaces. So if this current number is 2 digits, then I would like to put, if this is the current, I don't care. I don't care. I could do it. I could actually genuinely do it. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't want to spend freaking brain power on this. It doesn't matter. It absolutely does not matter. There, we have our data. You know what? Just keep it this without spaces. It's fine. All right, this is our data. All right, we're saving it to a file. So congratulations to us, guys. Look at us. So we're so good. Well, I'm good because I've written most of the code, so you know. But yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. We accomplished our task today, which was to write stuff to a file. I wanted to clean up this code rather than passing all this data, just pass it in the grid. So I want to do that next before I wrap up today. So for map data, rather than asking for all of this, I'll just ask for the grid. So I'll do from here to here. So I'll ask for the grid, and I'm gonna pass it as a reference because I don't want to do a copy. Const grid, and then I'll ask for the map. So const map reference map again because I don't want to do a copy. And so grid, I can do grid.get position.x. I can do this over here, .y. I can do this over here. This is cell size, get cell. Get cell size x, get cell size y. Okay. Total cells. Get total cells x, get total cells y. Get scale x, get scale y. Right, and here we'll just do max or map size, and the data would be dot get title IDs. Right, much nicer code, much nicer code. But then, oh, no, it's fine. So what I was thinking is, before, the way it was done before, it was not relying on the grid and the map. And so if the grid and the map are deleted, I don't have to rely on them because there's a bunch of integers. But now they're tightly coupled, as in like they reliant. If the grid is deleted, if I delete that file, this will have an error in it. So I'm thinking whether I should keep it this way or revert to the way it was before. I mean, it's always reliant. Why would I? Yeah, I think it's fine. For these guys, I don't think I need any of this because, and I'll tell you why. Because map saver. I'll go the way it was before. I don't want things tightly coupled. I don't want them to be tightly coupled. I think this is fine. I think this is a-okay. Let's just rebuild this, make sure everything works. All right, and everything's fine. All right, build that, check the file. There you go, cool. Okay, we've done that. I want to fix the game because the game right now is completely broken because we changed a lot of stuff. This would be get You're not gonna help me. You know what? I don't care. It's broken. Keep it broken. Fix it later. Or I could just fix it now, you know? Let's fix it now. Let's call get data length. Let's do data length. This is get data. Oh, I remember why I need to delete this. Okay, you know what? I need to fix this later. Because yeah, I'll just fix it later. That's fine. All right, everything works. The editor works. The game is absolutely broken. I'm able to save files to disk now, and I'm able to you know, which is good, right? I'm saving all my data over here. One thing I want to solve is, maybe we should solve it next time. I think we could solve it next time. Is the problem is, if notice if I'm moving this window, right, and I just do this, it's still painting on the editor, even though the editor is not in focus. So I don't want to paint on the editor if it's not in focus. Same thing, same issue. If like for example, I believe if I do this and I just click in here. See how it's painted on them? Even though like the window is behind this, and I can still paint. I'm still able to paint, right? Look at that. And so I want to fix that. The way I can fix that, essentially say, don't paint if this window is not in focus, which we'll do next time. Okay, let's commit this code, push it to GitHub, and we're done for the night. Put this over here. This would be my personal projects. This is my portfolio. Let's actually not do it on my portfolio. I need send the E drive. It's RPG game. All right, so we've done a lot of work. We did this. Let's just come do everything. Okay, let's review this. We added the core project. We added the core dependencies. We added the map thing. We did that. Okay, so we did a bunch of work. Okay, so created core project that has common code between the editor and the game. Next, added the ability to save the map, created the map of the editor in a file. Completely functional. Okay, what else did we do? Broke the game. That's also something we did, which we shall something we did. We gotta talk about it. What the heck did we do last stream? Oh, last stream we just spent most of the time creating the core project, didn't we? Yeah, good job, dumbass. Time well spent. I mean, it's actually good, you know, it's fine. Okay, added core project and save map to file. All right, commit this, push it. Oh yeah, I need to set up the correct. Yeah, I don't think I want to show this on stream. And probably guys already saw it. Let's just do this. Oh, they're public keys. Public keys are fine. Okay. Either way, I don't want to show my keys, so let's open that up. Okay, let's push that. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Push, push, push. Perfect. All right, pushed. Okay, so we finished the stream for today. Did a bunch of work, which is awesome. I really want to spend more time working on this game because at the rate that I'm going, it'll never be done. Like, absolutely never. And the entire goal was to finish this in a year. And the year is almost over. Like, I started in November, we're already in August. So I need to pick up the pace if I want to actually reach that goal, which I don't think it's possible now because I took a break from March until August. March, April, May, June, July, 4 months. Over 4 months, which is not great. Not great at all. You need to pick up the pace. All right, so few things I want to talk about at the end of the stream, just to let everyone know. One, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. It would help a lot. A lot of you who guys are watching the stream are not subscribed, so hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. Hit the like button also. It also helps a lot. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the dislike button and just tell me why there's something you don't like, you want to change. You know, do give me feedback. Join our Discord channel. If you like, you can ask questions and work on the project alongside me if you want to. If you just want to chat about general life or stuff, I'm very, very busy, but I'll try to get your chat and like comment as much as possible in Discord and on YouTube. Thirdly, do go ahead and buy my game. And I know this is a shameless plugin, but my game is on Steam. I made it in Unity. That's why we're like, I'm moving from Unity. I freaking hate Unity. Garbage engine. It's a fantastic engine, but it's absolutely a garbage engine. So I both love and hate Unity. It's called Debugged Dungeon. If you like puzzle games, do go ahead and give it a shot. It's a nice, fun puzzle game. That's second thing. The third shameless plugin that I would like to talk about is I have a podcast with a colleague, and I know there's a million podcasts. Like, there's literally a million podcasts. Why the hell would you watch mine? Well, there's absolutely no reason for it. We just talk about life stuff. We talk about game development, whatever's happening in the industry. Things that are like personal to us and tips and tricks and things like that. I don't know. It just honestly. It's just an hour where me and my colleague just want to catch up and just chat for an hour and talk for an hour, right? You might be interested, that's great. You might not, that's also fine. It's called... let me find it. I actually don't know the YouTube channel. I actually don't know the YouTube channel. He sent it on Discord. Let me go ahead and open up Discord and check. He takes care of all the uploading and managing the channel, and I just show up and talk for an hour. So I need to like, you know, be more involved. All right, let's see, let's find it. There we go. All right, here's the channel. This is me, by the way. This is how I look. You've never seen my face. I do realize you've never seen my face. This is my colleague. This is me on the right. And this, Jesus, I really need to. First, subscribe. Second, like. Third, this is the channel. Right? I look like I don't want to be there, but I'm actually enjoying my time talking to him. Sometimes I do look like that, so I do apologize for that. We have 2 episodes. We need to upload the third one. But if you want to go and listen to it, go for it. If not, that's completely okay. It doesn't matter. And that's it. That's all the self-promotion plugin stuff that I want to talk about today. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys. I'll I want to stream tomorrow. I think I'll stream tomorrow. I can't promise anything, but I'll try to stream tomorrow. Anyways, have a fantastic day, guys. If you do need anything, do let me know in the comment section. And yeah, see ya. Take care. Bye bye.